Houston, obviously, the Bristow outing didn't go quite as well as we had hoped, but you come in right away and you just start throwing that changeup. And didn't it seem like you started pitching them backwards for you, where you were able to kind of spot that fastball up and run up in his zone? What was so successful for you, and why were you able to keep them off balance for as long as you were?
I think it was a great mix of things. I wouldn't just narrow it down to one piece, but Fox called a great game and just went out there and executed pitches.
We'll go to Steve. Steve, go ahead.
I'll follow up there. Houston, you have kind of made this role for yourself, kind of coming out of the bullpen. How comfortable are you in that? I mean, would you like to be the guy that comes out of the gate first and be the starter, or are you just kind of happy doing what you're doing?
Oh, I'm playing my role. I want to help the team win, so team first guy. But I feel confident for sure enough to start any game, come out of the pen any game. I think that I've gotten a good mix this year of both, so I think that's really allowed me to settle in and just do whatever they call me to do.
Robbie Falk, you're next.
Hootie, back in your second or third inning, had the bases loaded, nobody out, and you pulled a Christian McLeod. You had 3 straight strikeouts. How were you able to kind of settle in and get those 3 guys out? And I think it might have been in the middle of the order too.
Yeah, I think it was just take a deep breath and just get right back at it. Don't want to overdo anything. Don't want to take the foot off the gas. Just settle in, stay confident, and make some pitches.
John Sokoloff.
Hey, Houston. So kind of take me through when you had to come into the game, because it was obviously much earlier than you expected. So kind of like take me through your whole process of getting in there earlier than you expected and kind of settling in.
I think it's one of those things where as soon as the game starts, I'm going to be ready to go. Whether it's the 3rd, 4th, or the 6th, I'm always going to be ready to take the ball and run with it. But mindset-wise, it's just plan and prepare each day to come in early, to be the guy that can get in there and, clean up a little bit of a mess. So I think it's just always making sure that I have the plan and I'm prepared to go in there and get it done.
We'll send it over to David Murray. David?
Houston, there was a scene the camera caught you hugging Jackson in the dugout after you came in. What were y'all talking about there after you finished your stint?
I just wanted to, just needed to remind him that he's still that guy. We all have a lot of bumps and obstacles that we got to overcome throughout the season, and today was just a tough day for him, and I just had to let him know he's still that guy. He controls his own confidence, and he is the one, to run out there and get it done for us. He had a rough day, but.
Go back to Steve. Steve, go ahead.
Speaking of being that guy, you had your moment out there on the mound where the infield comes together, Lamonis comes out to get the ball. After you have done your job there, what's that moment like out there when you're surrounded by your guys, knowing you came out there and made this thing happen and ends up on the all-regional team as a dude that helps the Bulldogs win?
It's an indescribable feeling. I mean, especially when my defense plays as well as they do behind me. I just very thankful. The Lord has blessed me tremendously, and just super excited to continue this journey with these guys.
Landon, Houston Harding goes out there and just is a dude for you guys today. I mean, and obviously I know you're stomping like a bull out there to bullpen to get in, but when you see a guy out there shoving like he is, what does that do for your confidence knowing when you get your opportunity to come out?
It gives the whole entire team a lot of confidence, not just me. But when he's rolling like that, it's always going to be a good day.
We'll swing it over to David Murray next. David?
Landon, when did you start warming up? And were you just kind of itching to get down to the bullpen, or did you wait for Coach Fox to tell you to go?
I think I headed down there in the 5th inning. We had previously spoke before the game about how I might have had a little bit of an extended outing today. So I headed down there a little bit earlier. And I was itching to get out there, but with Hootie rolling and then Preston coming in after that, we were pretty set right there.
Tyler Horka, go ahead and jump in there.
Landon, to close it out there, you're facing the conference player of the year and their best player Coach Scott Foxhall comes out to talk to you before that at bat. Just kind of what's going through your mind at that point, and kind of take me through your approach and getting him to ground out.
He was letting me know how good of a player he was. I had known that already. We had a lot of respect for him coming into the weekend and into the game today. We were just kind of talking about the plan right there to try and do our best to get him out. But we had a lot of respect for him, so we didn't want to give him anything that he could handle.
John Sokoloff.
Landon, what kind of a rush does it give you when, you have a lead, you're getting the ball, and you know that you're going to go basically as long as you can and try to punch your team's ticket to a super regional? What kind of rush does that kind of give you?
It definitely gives me a pretty good rush. I try and stay in the middle right there, not too high, not too low. We talk about that a lot, especially me and Spencer Price. He's done measures for me, with his experience. I can credit him with a lot of my success. He talks to me between each inning, calm down, do this, do that. But I've been very fortunate to be able to play with him.
Got time for a couple more for Landon. We'll go back to Steve.
So, what kind of rush is it when you give up a leadoff double there in the ninth after having a couple innings where you pretty much had your way with them? The next thing you know, the time runs at second there. What goes through your head, and how do you kind of dial it back in?
He ambushed that fastball right there. But baseball's a game of the next pitch. I could control if he stayed right there. And I knew if I got a strikeout right there, some swings and misses to that next hitter, that we were going to be in a pretty good spot right there to keep that guy on the base path and not let him cross home plate.
David Murray, close us out.
I know you talked about itching to get out there. Does that reflect the fact that you're surprised you did not have to throw the first two games? You were held to the third game of a series?
I wasn't surprised at all. We really prepared this week for this weekend. Our hitters went to work. Our pitchers went to work. Defensively, offensively, in our bullpen sessions. So I wasn't surprised at all about the big leads we had. But waiting a few games to get out there, it makes that anticipation that much more.
Tia, you're the old man around here now. You've won 3 regionals, but does it ever get old? Does it ever feel like it's just routine, or is it still just as amazing as it was the first time?
No, it's just as amazing as it was the first time. Not even close, man. This atmosphere and what's on the line is just nothing better in the country.
Kind of following up on that too. This has kind of become you and Rowdy's team. You guys were obviously contributors early on. Jake and the other guys were kind of the guys, but you kind of continued that legacy, and the standard hadn't slipped under your watch. How much pride do you take in something like that?
I take a lot of it. I feel like if I bring the energy every day, everybody feed off me. That's just my mentality when I get to the field. So I try to be in the best mood and spread positive vibes as much as I can.
Tanner, you talk about a guy that's been struggling with Forsythe a little bit, but he gets the chance to make that final out. What does that mean about a guy that has been struggling that gets that chance, and what does that say about the depth of the team?
It tells me he's still in the game. You can't take your offense into your defense. And for him to make a big play on a hard hit ball in that situation was awesome. And you know what? I would not be surprised if that gave him a little confidence at the plate as well.
Is it kind of fitting then that it's that guy that makes that after all the other things this weekend that even Lane gets into the – I shouldn't say even that, but –
That's baseball, man. The ball always finds you. And it found him, and thank God he was still in the game, because we'd probably be changing uniforms and get ready to go out here in a little bit if he didn't.
Got time for a few more. We'll go to John Sokoloff. John?
Tanner, nobody has more pride for Starkville as much as some of the other guys on this team. Your walk-up song says how much you love this place, but do you think it's kind of added a little bit of extra momentum for you? I know you're a kid that really is where your feet are, but does it kind of add a little extra momentum for you knowing that you don't have that many games left at Dudy Noble?
For sure, man. I'm taking the field, and in my mind I'm thinking, there's only a handful more games for me at Dudy Noble, so that motivates me to play harder, and I'm kind of using it to my advantage right now.
And how do you?
Hey, John. We got to get to some other questions. Gary, go ahead and jump in there.
Yeah, what did this weekend kind of reveal? I mean, after the SEC tournament, that to have the very kind of games that you all had, and to win, this weekend, especially today, the way that you did, what did it kind of reveal about this team's resolve and determination?
It shows that we're a gritty bunch. The SEC tournament didn't end up the way we wanted it to, but we came home and got after it all week at practice and came out this weekend and swept the weekend like we wanted to. So it proves that we got some grit to us, and I love it.
And then we'll go to Steve to wrap it up. Steve, go ahead.
Super regional coming up. I mean, you've never not played in a super regional, different level of intensity, I know. So what's kind of your message to your guys now as you guys get ready to move on to this next level in the postseason?
I just tell them we're taking it one day at a time. We're only going to control what we can control, and that's our preparation. Like I told our guys, I said, I promise you one thing, Notre Dame, when they come here, they have never played in front of an atmosphere like they're going to play in front of this upcoming weekend, so we're going to use it to our advantage.